Topic number one of the conversation, people, and I've mentioned this, on a few shows back, that it's during this time of the year where we start to see these preseason All-America teams, these preseason award watching lists, these preseason things. And I know Coach Saban and the players, they don't pay preseason things no attention. Me, as I'm, yours truly, as I'm in the media, of course, you the fans out there, we can look at preseason things as materials to talk about, stuff to discuss, stuff to conversate on. And after the Walter Camp Football Foundation put out its preseason All-America teams for 2020, Sporting News came right behind it, putting out its preseason list, and 7 Crimson Tide players landed on the list, including 3 first-teamers. The 3 first-teamers, those 3 guys being Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle, Devonta Smith, wide receiver, and Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, but he made it in terms of the return game. So starting things off here with Alex Leatherwood, a young man that's going into his 2nd year starting at left tackle. He started the whole season last year at left tackle, did a solid job, graded out at 89% on all of his assignments. He gave up just 2 sacks the entire 2019 campaign. Both of those 2 sacks coming against K'Lavon Chaisson of LSU, but he will look to be even better or to be more improved in neutralizing those speedy edge rushers this season. Leatherwood has played in 28 career games. He started in 28 career games in his career. At 6'6", 310 pounds, out of Pensacola, Florida, the former 5-star in the 2017 class. We know his story. He came in, filled in admirably for Jonah Williams at left tackle in the national championship game against Georgia, helping Tua Tagovailoa throw for 3 touchdown passes, including the game winner to Devonta Smith in 2018. He plays at that right guard position, did a fantastic job opening up holes in the running game and also helping Tua have a Heisman-like season, despite him being a Heisman and helping him become a Heisman finalist and a consensus All-American. So this year, going to be a big year here for Leatherwood. When you talk to Devonta Smith, for the longest of time, he was sort of overlooked, undervalued, underappreciated, did not get the respect that he deserved. But in the last 2 national preseason watching lists, when you discuss the Walter Camp Football Foundation and now here with Sporting News, national media is starting to get the gist of, if you don't guard Smitty, he will burn you. If you don't take Devonta Smith seriously, he will absolutely frustrate you, take the top off of your defense, and eradicate that defense. So, as we've seen here, Walter Camp Football Foundation having him a preseason first-team All-American, Sporting News having him in that exact same respect. And this past season, a young man from Amite, Louisiana, 68 catches, 1,256 yards receiving, 14 touchdowns. He averaged 18.5 yards, per catch, 96.6 yards receiving per game. And Smith became the first receiver since Amari Cooper in 2014 to have 200-yard games in a single season, completely, burning up Ole Miss with a 274-yard performance in LSU, 213 yards receiving in that matchup. So everybody now is keeping their eyes even more so peeled on Devonta Smith, the route runner that he is, the receiver that he is, his ability to work back to the quarterback, the blocker that he is, the full package product at wide receiver, being one Devonta Smith. And then Jalen Waddle making the first team preseason list as well, but he comes as a return man, and all of the parts of being overlooked or undervalued or underappreciated that Smitty was getting, Waddle was getting in terms of the receiver aspect. I feel like national media respects him as a return man. In the punt return game, he was phenomenal as a freshman in 2018. We're talking about he averaged 14.6 yards per punt return. That was first in the country, first in the SEC, had a punt return touchdown as a freshman. And then last year, he had 487 punt return yards, averaged 24.4 yards per return, had a touchdown against the LSU. And then the kick return aspect, 175 kick return yards a season ago, averaged 35 yards per return, including a 98-yard touchdown versus Auburn in the Iron Bowl, one of 3 scores on the day for Waddle. So while national media respects his acumen in spades as a kick returner, punt returner, not really giving him the just due respect as a receiver. And here's a young man that had 848 yards received as a freshman, 560 yards receiving as a sophomore. He's got 13 total touchdowns combined in 2 years at that receiver position in the slot. So this will be his year to prove to everybody, to pop the top on everybody that, hey, don't just respect me as a return man, put some respect on my name as a receiver. Also, I am the human joystick. I am a lightning in a bottle. I am Waddle baby, Waddle baby, Waddle baby up and down the field on you. So put some respect on my name as a receiver as well. Those will be the statements from one Jalen Waddle. But Alex Leatherwood, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, the 3 first-teamers according to the Sporting News preseason All-America team. Now, the second team, guys, and it's a quartet of that group, you've got Najee Harris at running back, Deontay Brown offensive line, Patrick Surtain II as a cornerback, and Dylan Moses at linebacker. All 4 of these guys have a lot to prove. They got something to prove this year for the Crimson Tide. Starting this thing off with Najee Harris, we've talked about it. If he can go a full season running the way he ran and the confidence of which he ran against LSU, if he can take that confidence and that style and play an entire season like that, then Najee Harris is going to dominate the 2020 campaign. A lot of people have placed more focus on Chuba Hubbard of Oklahoma State and Travis Etienne of Clemson, but if Najee Harris can run the way he ran against LSU and catch the ball the way he caught the ball against South Carolina, if he can put both of those entities together and be the complete total package that Alabama fans thought it was going to get when he came as a 5-star from California in the 2017 class, then the young man will be absolutely incredible. But that's Najee Harris. When you talk Deontay Brown, as great as he is as a run blocker, and the young man is magnificent at 6'4", 338 pounds out of Decatur in Alabama, but as great as he is as a run blocker, and the run game picked up instantly when he returned from that 4-game suspension last year, he's just as good in pass protection. And this will be his season to prove to where, like Jalen Waddle, you put some respect on Deontay Brown's name in the aerial attack to where he's shielding guys away from Mac Jones in pass protection. For Patrick Surtain II, this is a critical, crucial year for him because everybody is pumping up Derek Stingley of LSU. Everybody's hailing him as the best corner in the SEC, as the best corner in college football. He's on everybody's preseason first team, All-America list. And no offense to Stingley, he had a great freshman year for LSU. We're looking at 6 interceptions. That was first in the country, first in the SEC, tied for 3rd in the country. He had 15 pass breakups, which was first in the conference, even though he got utterly destroyed by Devonta Smith in the game this past season. That's besides the point. First in the SEC in terms of picks and pass breakups. And people are high on him. People are high on a guy, one of the guys from Ohio State as well. But for Patrick Surtain II, here is his moment to prove that he's the best in the SEC. he's one of the best in college football. He had a strong freshman year. He had a solid sophomore year. Could have done more, but a solid sophomore year. This junior year, this is the year he's got to take that next step. This is the son of an NFL baller. Pat Surtain Sr. played for the Miami Dolphins, played for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's got that pedigree. He's passed it down to his son. This is Surtain II. This is Patty Surtain II's year to get this thing done, to put everything all in line, all in pocket. I remember talking with one Chris Rogers, former Alabama defensive back, part of that 2009 national championship team, and he talked about this secondary will go as far as Surtain goes. If Surtain's a lockdown corner, then this Alabama defense, this Alabama team will go undefeated in the regular season. If Surtain is not a lockdown corner, then maybe you could potentially see 1 to 2 losses again here for the Crimson Tide. So this is a big year for Patty Surtain. And then last but not least, Dylan Moses, after not playing last year due to injury, he's got an opportunity to snatch everything back, and things are setting up for him to do this in the upcoming season, so all eyes are on him as well. But that's just the first team list, and the second team All-American list coming from Sporting News where the Crimson Tide is concerned. But before we take our first break here on the show, we got to welcome aboard our latest sponsor, and that is Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, where their slogan is making memories from scratch. You're going to check out the commercial here coming up shortly, but upon our return, we dive into your phone calls, your tweets, your chats, your questions, your concerns. We're talking Alabama football, and we're getting to it right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.